What happens when a store's entire dedicated existence to Yu-Gi-Oh! Just isn't having Yu-Gi-Oh! Perform? So make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more. I got the chance to read a very nice post today talking about one of our businesses within the community, and it was talking about, that their entire business model, was Yu-Gi-Oh! But obviously, you eventually branch out into Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh! And for the first time in years, this was the 1 year that Yu-Gi-Oh!, being a Yu-Gi-Oh! Store, that Yu-Gi-Oh! Didn't carry them. Pokemon and Magic actually outperformed Yu-Gi-Oh! In the metrics of sales. This is interesting to kind of think about here. So you're telling me that a store's entire reputation, everything that they do, being dedicated to Yu-Gi-Oh! And Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not their number one. Shucky darn. Now, a lot of the comments I was kind of reading on this thread are, a lot of people are still expecting it to get worse, honestly. I'm a little bit intrigued by that. So, and this is, maybe this is people not realizing that we have lost arts, we have overframes coming to the game. We don't know what the TCG is going to do with serialized cards just yet. We know that Asian English is getting serialized cards now. That's a pretty big thing coming down. And we also got confirmation that there's going to be a letter indicator for the languages that, well, for indicating, which region that they're from. It's kind of funny that they're going to have that, but then the card's also going to say like JP, So I'm a little bit intrigued with the numbering system and how many of each of these is going to be available. But I do want to emphasize here that I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is going to kind of start a little bit of a climb back up here. Are we out of the woods? No, not at all. We're heading literally tomorrow is the first, people. We're starting into a brand new year here. And a lot of, most of the comments I've read from people, except for one or two outliers, most people are pretty positive of these overframes going into 2026. A lot of people genuinely are like, oh, I'm kind of excited for this. And they didn't just do the shitty thing of just tossing, the overframes on Blue Eyes and Dark Magician. No, they made new cards that were basically power crept versions of these Ace Boss monsters. They've done, Konami's done a good thing here. Had they, reprinted Dark Magician for the 100,000th time and just slapped, oh boy, here's your overframe. Yeah, I'd say, I'd go like this. I'd wash my hands and be like, yeah, they clearly have no idea how to run the game. Flush it down the toilet. It's a day, boys. No, that's not the case. They are now making active strides to go from here. Now, there's also the topic of, what's our next set of prize cards going to be? Are we going to see other changes around the structure of this kind of going forward? Because internally with Yu-Gi-Oh!, you can't just slap some full arts on cards and kind of call it a day. No, what you have to do is you have to start to elevate and change everything across the board. And, we're heading into 2026. We'll see what Konami does, all right? I want to be positive here. And I want to say, okay, so these $36 to $40 boxes, and the problem with the $36 to $40 boxes with Phantom Revenge is just Konami didn't announce the additional support. I guarantee you, had Konami came out and actually printed better support for Ennia Craft, Heka Hands, and Cool Tunes straight out of the bat, or, by the time of that product out, because you had products delayed for 2 weeks, man. You could have saved that product by showcasing whatever power-ups that you could have tossed at us, and you might have actually, and there's nothing saying that the Phantom Revenge set won't be saved at a later date when they actually do bring out some powerful upgrades for this. It's just, still to this day, it kind of feels like Konami's missing those market key points they need to do to plug in. But the problem also with Konami is, like, I'm pretty sure that they've already washed their hands of the product. Like, hey, we already sold these boxes. Thanks for playing, guys. You know, we sold. The problem is like, they'll be like, hey, we sold out of the distro level. This is great. And stores are like, yay, I paid $60 a box for this. They're $40 online. I'm getting $30 after shipping and fees. I love losing $30. And you wonder why, you know, these stores are looking at Yu-Gi-Oh! As a terrible thing right now. Like, we are actually in a terrible rut right now. It's way worse than you can actually imagine. But I mean, things are still moving. That's the other thing too, and that's the clear indicator with the story that we started things off here. You know, cards are moving within the system. They're just not moving on a scale that people want to see. And, you know, we've been asked also throughout the years, it's like, I've had a few people go, hey, you know, I want to open up a store. You know, I want to do Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's like, stay as far away from this game as you actually can. Well, first of all, you need a second income to supplement whatever ideas you're trying to do. If you think you can go into a card game right now and just have this be your lifeblood, that's crazy. So anyway, when we be filing for bankruptcy, all right, I mean that wholeheartedly. Like, it's to the people that want to do card games and they want to do this as a full-time job. I'm going to tell you the same thing. You need to have, one, a very good financial backing to back it up. Two, you need to have time, and a second source of income. You need to have something that is going to allow you to be able to make the financial investments, to allow you to do this sort of stuff. And I mean, if you are specializing in one field, and this is the scariest part of anything in this business, in this industry, you know, if you're specializing within one field and you're not diversifying, then you're going to have issues. Now, I mean, had this said card shop had all their assets tied up in Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, they're still making money. Like, the moral of this story is there's still money that is moving through the system. It's still flowing. But it's like, instead of making, you know, maybe making $50,000 this year, maybe their sales were like 30,000, for example. You know, you're always going to have these dips within the system that's going to do its thing. And I mean, we're still feeling the cool down from this. And I mean, this is what happens when Konami took this long. And obviously, they still haven't even given us a ban list. Tomorrow's the 1st. And, you know, had we gotten a ban list, had we gotten, you know, some sort of change and excitement here, then I guarantee you there'd be a little bit more positive an outlook on this right now. We'd be going into 2026 with maybe a little bit positive smile on our face because we have a new format to play. People would have a reason to go spend money. You guys got to remember that ban list dictates a lot of the market. All right. That ban list is the factor that tends to get things changing within the room. It gets people wanting to buy cards. It gets people going, hey, you know, I can get ready for the 300th YCS now. The fuck you think is going on here, man? Ain't nobody wanting to spend money on a limbo format where they can't do their thing. And this is why Konami's fumbling the ball right now, man. It all revolves around the same thing. Piss poor management of the game. And you know what? I'm just venting my frustrations, going, new year, new me in 24 hours, guys. I can't wait. You know, we're going to start Market Watch for first of the year. We're going to have a smile on our face. We're going to go, Yu-Gi-Oh's just fine embossing, say, you know, there's nothing wrong, you know, and we'll be positive for it. I mean, there is positivity coming. I can't just totally bleh out. So anyway, good to hear that other card games are pulling their way. I was a little bit worried about Magic the Gathering, but Magic the Gathering was here during their 30th and it took them 2 years. Maybe if Yu-Gi-Oh throttled some product and cut back some of them print runs and maybe started telling stores, no, you can't get that full run, maybe that would fix our problem. Isn't that a strange thought? Artificial scarcity creates value, which creates demand for product. We'll see where this goes. You guys have a good rest of your day and happy early patrons. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.